Welcome to Reality Rewire, presented by the Wisdom Network. We're here to explore the tools, practices, and healing modalities that create real transformation from the inside out. And today we have a special message from one of the practitioners from the Wisdom Network. And here's what they have to say.
With the disciplined gold chains, I'll claim the prize of getting it all done. Postpone fun till the finish line, and I'll sleep when I'm off kilter, losing filter. And chewing fresh grounds doesn't alert my perception the same. I started to unwind. Seamlessly, I saw ego driving, soul wasn't in it. I left no seat at the table for truth, no crumbs for self, too tired to set it. Snoozing love at every turn to check the next box of a mismeasured achievement. Divine stop. I'm done with fighting myself, done with pushing my limits to exhaustion. I'm ready for the flow, ready for the revelation of my power, ready to rest and listen when my soul speaks. I am Goddess Iman, Ascension Guide and clinical hypnotherapist specializing in identity liberation. I help people reclaim who they are beneath who they had to become. In previous Reality Rewire episodes, we explored how 95% of our behavior is subconscious. That identity thermostat has been running outdated programs. Today, I'm teaching you the framework that rewires that thermostat. Self-loving discipline. Because willpower alone can't override the subconscious. However, devotion speaks the language of your nervous system. The exhaustion in the poem, that divine stop, that's where discipline as devotion was born for me. Because I, like many people, was taught the lie, the illusion that discipline is punishment and suffering, and that self-care is selfishly indulgent, both of those with a negative connotation. The result of those teachings becomes someone who is rigidly controlling or completely abandons structure and simply embraces the chaos. For many years, I wrestled with this. I thought that discipline meant forcing myself into uncomfortable routines and denying my natural rhythms. Yes, I was living by the I'll sleep when I'm dead, sleep is for the weak, push through exhaustion and just get it done. That is what became my motivating force, my driving factor. And I had to learn a couple of times that all that led to was breakdowns. Once I was able to release that negative connotation around discipline and around self-care, but rather understand that they're one, and it simply needs to be harmonized. I then discovered and understood self-loving discipline, and that it was all about honoring yourself. That transformed discipline from punishment to discipline as devotion. That shifted the mindset from this is more that I have to do to this is what I get to do. And the simple things like maintaining a sleep schedule, going to bed early, that was a devotion to my rest and rejuvenation. Moving my body in whichever way I chose to, that was devotion to vitality and longevity of my vessel. It was a learning that discipline is how you love yourself when nobody's watching, because you are the main person that has to live with all of the decisions that you make, whether that is actively taking care of yourself and nurturing your well-being or pushing past your limits and running yourself into the ground. Either way, it's going to affect you first and then branch out and affect everything else that you touch. So again, Discipline is how you love yourself when no one's watching. And that self-loving discipline proactively creates a structure that flows with your unique energy and respects your limits. So when integrating this reframe into your daily life, a few things happen in your favor. One, you release self-sabotage. And the reason why that is important neurologically is self-sabotage is your nervous system's protection response. Throughout your life, you've learned that certain behaviors, certain ways of being, certain actions keep you safe. And when you force discipline through willpower, your subconscious senses a threat and pulls you back to the familiar patterns, back to the comfort zone. That's your automatic identity thermostat kicking in and trying to regulate you, even if that is going against the goals that you have set. Whereas self-loving discipline signals safety. Your nervous system learns this is care, this is nurturing, and your body feels safe. That helps the changes to become more accessible and more possible, and of course also more powerful. A lot of the times, self-sabotage happens when you create grand ideas, make these huge leaps without any stepping stones, without a realistic plan that leverages where you are now and builds upon that, which we see every single year for the New Year's resolutions. And then that leads to not keeping up with those things. That leads to guilt of not meeting those goals that you previously set. So in shifting into the self-loving discipline, that guilt also dissolves because it's more about love. All of that. And you become a model of self-loving discipline to people in your community, your family, and if you have children, them as well, because we know they learn from what you say as well as what you do. So rewiring your approach to discipline, activating it through that self-loving lens, that rewires your outcomes. Every promise that you keep to yourself creates neuroplasticity and your brain changes physically. What I started to do when I first began incorporating self-loving discipline is I would do personal check-ins in the morning and multiple times throughout the day. But I would check in and just question, what is it that I need today to be well? And then get that and honor that, because each day you may need something different. And tuning into that energy, tuning into yourself and asking what the need is, that is a simple yet powerful act of self-care. And some days you'll need to have that very structured time blocking. Other days you may need to flow. Some days you may simply need to rest. And self-loving discipline holds space for all of that. So I want you to consider, where can you start practicing self-loving discipline? Just choose one area. Maybe it's around sleep, boundaries, what you do with your creative time, your movement throughout the day. Ask, what would devotion to myself look like here and now? And start small. It doesn't have to be something big, wild, and crazy. And as you continue to follow through with those small promises to yourself, you build the self-trust to carry you to the next level. And you're able to more easily notice any resistance of when you may find yourself abandoning yourself, when you may find yourself shifting out of that self-loving discipline into something else. And you can simply pause and ask why. As you integrate this, make sure that you always celebrate the promises you keep. Each celebration releases dopamine, reinforcing the new behavior. And thus, your body learns, when I honor myself, I thrive. So wherever you are, start there and allow that self-loving discipline to build, because it is the best foundation of lasting transformation and embodiment. So remember, discipline is devotion, and you are worthy of your own devotion. Again, I'm Goddess Iman, the Ascension Guide. Until next time, be well and thrive.
If anything in today's episode stirred something in you, that's a sign. And if you are ready to stop doing this alone, we have an incredible community of healers, spiritual life coaches, and hypnotherapists at the Wisdom Network who are ready to meet you exactly where you are and take you somewhere completely new. That's right. Head over to thewisdomnetwork.net, find your practitioner, and take that powerful leap forward. We'll see you in the next episode.